Yo, what's up everyone? So, we're gonna be talking about Jujutsu Infinite, a very disappointing game. Um, Many others, including myself, have really had high hopes for this, but for me it just fell short of expectations, and I'll be going over that in the video. Yeah, so with that being said, if you want to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's go ahead and get into this. So, my first problem with it is the game, its repetitive nature. The core gameplay consists of nothing more than just spamming M1s and, using your techniques on bosses. You complete missions, progress to the story, like all that, but I'm not exaggerating when I say it just feels like another bandit beater. I mean, that's all it really is to me, and that's what it feels like. I mean, a lot of people have called it Jujutsu fruits. And it doesn't get really interesting until you hit level 60, at which point, you can rank up to grade 4. But by that time, the grind has already been, like, it's taken all the enjoyment out of the grind, or out of the game, I meant. Boss fights are pretty much a letdown too. Take the fights against Dagon and Fingerbearer, for example. Both of them feel underwhelming, and you're basically just standing there trading blows until the boss eventually dies. There's no strategy involved, no real engagement either. It's just waiting for your abilities to recharge and spamming attacks. And then we have investigations. These missions are equally dull, whether you're killing waves of enemies or rescuing NPCs, or both, which I saw in the Fingerbearer mission. It never really feels like you're doing anything meaningful. It just becomes a monotonous task, it just feels, it just feels like a monotonous grind, and feels like it doesn't add to the story at all, or reward building. You don't really feel rewarded for your efforts, because there's no real variety in task, or in the combat itself, really. Combat kind of sucks, honestly. And the second reason I don't like it, well, I'm disappointed in the sheer, the sheer overhype of it. This game was very hyped up. Everyone was talking about it. Even my friends are talking about it. They were like, oh, these people made Titan Warfare. This game's gonna be goated. But, people made it seem like this game was gonna be something, like, revolutionary. But, in reality, it's okay. It's okay at best. I found myself forcing my way through the game, trying to enjoy it, but, even then, that didn't make it more bearable. I played with some friends, hoping the experience would improve, but they quickly gave up too, feeling the same, like frustration about the game as I did. It's just very, very boring. I understand that some people might find the game enjoyable, but the fan base seems a bit larger than it should be, considering the game's flaws. If you're looking for a game that offers, deep character progression, unique mechanics, and, just engaging gameplay, I'd recommend something like Deepoken. That game at least has well-designed mechanics, good lore and depth, while Jujutsu Infinite feels like a watered-down version of the show, with nothing really special about it set apart from the other Roblox games. Another major issue for me was the game's release. After 24 hours for the game to drop, I found myself locked behind gambling mechanics. Yeah, you heard that. Many of the game's features, like character progression and special abilities, are hidden behind a gambling system. And while I understand that some games use this mechanic here, it feels like the whole game revolves around it, instead of rewarding players through skill or time invested. Jujutsu Infinite forces you into this gambling system, which completely kills the fun and immersion. My third reason, I find Jujutsu Infinite lacking. It lacks meaningful progression, customization, in a game where you're supposed to build a unique character and grow stronger. The game doesn't really offer much in terms of customization. Sure, you can rank up to grade 4 and unlock some new techniques, but it never feels like you're truly evolving your character. Most of the abilities you unlock don't really change the way you approach combat, so you're essentially just using the same strategies throughout the game. This is a huge problem, because part of the appeal of a game like this should be feeling like you're building a character and developing your unique style. But with Jujutsu Infinite, your character's development feels hollow. It doesn't help that there are no real consequences to your actions, no branching paths or meaningful choices that affect the game's story. It's all very linear, and that lack of freedom makes it harder to stay engaged with the game. What's even more frustrating about this is that the progression feels incredibly slow, at least for me, and that's without considering the gambling system I mentioned earlier. The grind is long and tedious, and without the excitement of actually customizing or evolving your character, it's hard to feel any sense of accomplishment as you reach higher levels. By the time you get to a higher rank, the game just feels like a chore rather than something you look forward to. So, what are my final thoughts on this game? Overall, Jujutsu Infinite has a lot of potential, but ultimately falls flat in too many areas, whether it's the repetitive gameplay, the overhyped promises, or the lack of meaningful progression. The game fails to deliver an experience worth investing time in. If you're a fan of Jujutsu Kaisen, and we're hoping for an immersive experience on Roblox, you may want to look elsewhere, or just enjoy the show instead. The game might find its niche fanbase, but it's definitely not for everyone. If you're looking for a deep, engaging game that respects your time and effort, Jujutsu Infinite may leave you disappointed again. This is just my opinion, so if you would like to comment, about something. But overall, I really do think this is just like another cash grab anime game. But thanks for watching and hearing me out. Like, comment, subscribe if you want. Thank you guys.